Welcome to the International Racing League Round 1. It's no longer pre-season. We're at Round 1 in Britain for the F1 grid, as we're waiting on one of the drivers, so we're going to be a few more minutes, a bit of a delay. Waiting for Mr. Collingwood, and then I believe we should be underway. As I will go with the official driver lineup. In the Ferrari team, we have Felix, Negwer, I believe, and Lewis Marshall in the Ferrari. So Lewis Marshall has come back after he didn't have a good season last season in Britain. Let's see how he does today. In the Mercedes pairing, we have Brandon Glover and Nino Romanello. Very interesting lineup with Mercedes there. It's going to be a very strong team nonetheless. And in the Red Bull, we have Jay Drawbridge and Samuel Nazar. I believe Jay is going to be up there for the title contention, definitely. But we'll have to wait to see if Samuel Nazar is up there as well. And in the Renault team, which is a very strong lineup, the returning Matthew Alder after he gave a season break with Sondre Sorhaug as his teammate, so a very competitive lineup in the Renault team. In Racing Point, we have Dylan Day and Can. I can't say his last name, so I'll just call him Can. And in McLaren, we would have Leon Bentley and Lee Kelly. One of the reserves for the McLaren team is Mershata, I believe. And in Haas, Mark Espy and Cameron Young. Another strong lineup today. And the champion from last season, Jack Hoyle in the Toro Rosso. And his teammate is Brett, after Rene has been put as a reserve from now. And in Williams, we have Aaron Collingwood and Nicholas Garrod. And in Alfa Romeo, we have Thomas Glenn and Tyler Rhodes. As we should be underway very shortly. We're still waiting on Collingwood, so Collingwood still isn't here. It's a very interesting calendar this season. We've got Britain instead of Canada. Which I've seen the calendar. I prefer this calendar over. It will be my home race for tomorrow, but it'll be a few of the home races for the drivers here today. So it's going to be a very competitive grid today, and we'll see how everybody's pace is, and hopefully there's no collisions into turn 1, as we should be underway very shortly. Check the stream, make sure there is no audio problems. And there's Mark in the chat saying the Mong is live. Well, thank you very much. Brand said hello on the stream. And Man City are 2-0 down. Get in. Not to stay there. But enough football. Way to watch some great F1 racing. So we should be going in a few minutes. Tyler Beasley's coming in the chat. I recognise that name from somewhere. Welcome to the stream. As we should be going underway. Come on, Collingwood. Are you in yet? Samuel Nazar's made it in the Red Bull, so Samuel Nazar is here, so we're just waiting. So we'll have 16 drivers. It's not the biggest grid, but it's a good. It's an alright turnout. It's Neon, mate. Neon _X Rapid. There's Jared. I'm the one who's doing commentary for all of F1 this season, and hopefully for future seasons to come. We'll have to wait and see on that. Hello Bulletproof, mate. How you doing? Oh, Bullet Boy. There we go. Come on, Aaron, you've only got a minute now, mate. And then we're off to qualifying. Here he is. Aaron Collingwood will be in the Williams. As he gets in his car, we now should be underway, and I will have a look as Sondre has ready up. Not yet, but we shouldn't be underway nonetheless, unless he's going to wait that extra minute. We'll have to wait and see. I wonder what the weather's going to be like. I wonder if it's going to have a bit of rain for the first round for the F1 drivers, or will it be clear weather for quali and clear weather for the race? As you may have noticed, in pre-season there was no damage, and pop firming was off and everything like that. Well, pop firming is now on, and vehicle damage is on full. So everybody on the grid, be very careful and don't do any reckless moves as we're underway. So here we go. Well, I might as well go down the qualifying order. I believe it's going to be, if the weather is dry or wet. My dry prediction will be Jay first, Matthew in second, Jack in third, and possibly Aaron Collingwood in fourth for dries. In the wets, I'm going to have to go Matthew first, second Jay, third Aaron, and Nino fourth. Nino's very good in the wets, so could happen, but my prediction could be totally off. So we'll have to wait and see as everyone's getting their tyre choices ready, as mainly everyone goes harder compound. As we're loading in, there we go. Right, just make sure I've got everything ready. Yep. And also, if anyone does any track limits through Corps or Store, like exiting track limits, and it doesn't come up with track limit problems, you may get penalised later on after the race if you do it too many times. So hopefully everyone can be aware, as we are seeing it's clear for the race, so my dry prediction stays. As we can already hear a Mercedes engine coming out of the way. It is Brandon Glover. He's getting ready to come out on track. As I get everything set up, who's going to come out first? It is actually a Racing Point driver, and that is Can, the only Racing Point driver I believe in today. As we are watching him on the outlaps, he will be the first driver. I believe this is one of the slowest pit lanes on the F1 grid, as well, we've got a weird camera angle there. Everyone's on softs. Is there wet weather at the moment, or is people not changing their tyres? I know it's Britain, you can qualify in the softs, but I thought some people would qualify in mediums. We don't know yet, Bullet. Toxic is very quick, but he's got a very competitive field against him, so we'll have to wait and see. As Callum Anderson's in the chat, cheering on for Nino Romanello and Aaron Collingwood. As Can will be the first one to start a lap, and he's about to go through Mackett and Beckett's. He's preparing his runs. Why not Chapel? And here we go. He should be getting up to speed very shortly, as we're getting a weird camera angle. Yeah, still no one's on mediums. That's very surprising. As Can is getting ready, he should be putting his ERS mode higher now, and yes he is. And here we go. He will be the first one to start his lap, first one to cross the line of Britain in round one. Let's see what time Can do. This Can is accelerating up to top speed through Abbey. Nice and flat out there, nice and tidy through this section. Going to turn 3, it's the curb, doesn't hit the exit curb at turn 3 though, into turn 4, nice and tidy. None of the rear snapping out like some of the drivers do. Great exit out of turn 5 is yellow in sector 3, now that might be because the driver's slowing down. As here we go, he's coming through Brooklands into turn 6. Oh, he does clip the curb in the end. I'm surprised he didn't clip the curb in entry actually. Out of the field, coming up to Woodcut. A little kink of a turn 8. Now going max speed. Will he go up to 8th gear into Corpse? Yes, he does. He now no, actually doesn't shift down. He stays in 8th gear. That's surprising. I would have shifted down there to get a bit more speed. Goes nice and flat out through Corpse and in through Maggots and Bits. Not exceeding any track limits so far. Hitting every curb as he can through Chapel, bit of the grass touching. Down the hanger straight. This is very crucial that he doesn't exceed track limits through Store. Nice and tidy through Store, doesn't run extremely wide, hits the exit curb beautifully. Into Vale. Corner now. Coming up to Club Corner into the final corner. Let's see what lap it's going to be. Here comes Can, a 1:26.9 provisional P1 currently right now, as we will go on board with Brandon, as Brandon's actually made a mistake there. As Nicholas has already set a 26.8, as Brandon sets a banker of a 30.2 it looks like. As Lewis Marshall comes third with a 1:27.1. I believe that may be a banker or representative. As Tom sets a 1:27.5 as well, so it's quite well. Nick hasn't been beaten yet so far, as Nino Romanello says a 1:27. Oh, there it is. There's Matthew Alder, a 1:26.3. A few tenths faster than Nicholas in P2 in the Williams. As we'll go on board with Amir, one of the reserve drivers in the McLaren, who is about to finish his lap, going through Max and Beckett. Coming out of Chapel down the main hanger straight. Still got plenty of VRS left. Nice and tidy through Store. Doesn't exceed track limits at all there. Nice and tidy, but he actually comes into the pits. Well, his lap will not count then, as we'll go on board with Felix Negwer, who I believe is on his lap. Is on ERS mode 5, hasn't got a lot of ERS to play with. Coming out the final corner, let's see what time it is going to be. It's going to be a 1:27.6. So Felix is the moment slower than his teammates. Setting a 1:27.6, his teammates set a 1:27.1. As Mark has promoted himself to second place with a 1:26.7. Great lap there from Mark. However, Matthew's done a very competitive lap right now with 1:26.3, a bit faster than everybody else. As who's first out on their out laps? Right, Sondre's going for Maggots and Beckett. What about Jay? Right, so Sondre will be the first one to start a lap at these guys. There's going the all-around driver, favourite Norwegian, Sondre Sorhaug. Let's see what he can do in quali. Let's hope there's no bottling from him this season. As we get underway, as he's about to start his lap. Getting ready, preparing, already into ERS mode 5, coming out of Club's corner. And here we go. Sondre is lap starting right now. As he comes through Abbey, flat out in gear 7. This first one actually I've seen it go flat out in turn 1 in gear 7 there. I thought he would have gone gear 8. Into turn 3. Nice and tidy, none of the rear snapping out. Coming into turn 4, into the arena area. Nice and tidy exit out of the arena section, into turn 5. Beautiful exit, straight down. Should be in ERS mode 4 because it is quicker in the straight line, but he is on ERS mode 5, stays in ERS mode 5. Comes into turn 6 out of Brooklands, coming to the Luffield corner in turn 7. Nice and tidy there from Sondre. Coming out to turn 8, a bit of gravel there, I believe his left rear was on there. As he's coming up into Corpse, stays in gear 7, goes 184 miles an hour through that corner. Coming into Maggots and Beckett, is he going to lift off brake at all? No, he's not. Now he starts to brake. Nice and tidy through Maggots and Beckett, out of Chapel, down the main hanger straight. So far this has been a very clean lap from Sondre Sorhaug. Coming into Store corner. Nice and tidy exit. Is he going to run a bit wide? No, he doesn't. Nice and tidy through Vale. He's going to go through Vale. Turn 16. So Club's corner, turn 17. Come around the final corner. What lap is it going to be? He makes a little bit of a correction there, but does a 1:27 flat. Promotes himself to 5th place. Good lap there from Sondre. As I believe Jay's actually ahead of Aaron. Can't tell. Yes, he is. Jay will be the next person. Oh, no. excuse me, Jay actually peels into the pits. And currently right now, Cameron is the only one who's on mediums on his outlap, so he may be thinking the long strategy. We'll have to wait and see as Aaron Collingwood is going to come around the final 2 corners. Let's see what lap it's going to be. He's low on fuel, he's out of ERS. What lap is going to be? A 1:26.6, promotes himself to P2. So where's Aaron Collingwood got this pace from? Because last season he didn't have the best of seasons, and now he's in P2 currently right now. So good job there from Collingwood. As we'll go back on board Amir, I apologise, through Brooklands, I believe he's entering now. As Amir, Cameron Young and Jay are the only guys who haven't set laps, and Brandon also hasn't set a competitive lap. So actually Amir's actually on a outlap right now, as Brandon is on a lap, and I believe he's right behind Amir, sorry, and he's a bit down on his time. Now I don't know if he's going to get that back, unless that was actually a representative time he set. We'll have to wait and see. Flat out of corpse, going through to Mackets and Better Kits, turn 11, 12 and 13 and 14. Nice and tidy there from Brandon. Comes out of Chapel, clean exit, down the main hanger straight. Let's see what lap he's going to do. He's still a 10th down, so did he make a mistake in store? Did he exceed track limits and back off completely? We'll have to wait and see. As nice and tidy exit there out of store, hits the exit curb, coming into the Vale and Club corner, turn 16 and 17, hits both the curbs, hits the exit curb as Amir sets a 1:26.2. It did say he was on an outlap, but he actually wasn't. However, Brandon sets a 1:26.8, promotes himself to 6th place. Good lap there from Brandon, and a great lap from Amir. Beats Matthew with a 1:26.299, 1,000th of a 1:26.3. As we'll go on board with Cameron, actually, who's ahead? Cameron Young or Samuel Nazar? No. Well, Samuel Nazar is on a lap, as we'll stay on board with Samuel Nazar. Currently, his lap is a 1:27.7. Somebody else has just moved up, and I don't know who. Well, Samuel Nazar through Mackets and Beckett's. Let's see what time it is going to be. As I'll just see who's coming on the stream. Tidy from Samuel Nazar. Oh, tiny bit of track limits there out of store. May have got an invalid lap, but he may have actually got away with it, so we don't know if that may be getting investigated, his lap time or anything like that, but it is only qualifying, so we'll have to wait and see. But currently he's on a 1:27.1, as Cameron Young is the next one to set a lap. It's currently Felix 13th. Cameron Young is on his lap. This only got 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the session, so he has to be quick if he wants to get a soft run in place. As currently that is Sondre Sorhaug, I believe, who's right behind him. And then we'll go on board with Jay, because Jay is on a lap currently right now, so let's see what Cameron Young can do. Comes out of store corner, nice and tidy exit, none of the rear snapping out or anything. Comes into Vale, rides the curbs. Decent exit there from Cameron. Comes around the final corner, already out of ERS. It's going to be a 1:27.2, but it wasn't invalid. It just promotes him to 13th. So he's currently faster than Felix, who set a 1:27.6 on softs. As Jay is coming out of Lovefield, I believe. Yes, he is out of Lovefield. Little kink of turn 8, entering Corpse's corner. Turn 9. Is he going to stay in 7th? Yes, he does. Maxing out 7th gear. 183 miles an hour at the exit curb. Now through Mackets and Beckett's. Is he going to change gear? No, he's in 7th. Doesn't go to 8th gear, which is quite surprising. I would have gone, in my opinion, in 8th gear. But this is how Jay likes it. Out of Chapel, clean and tidy exit through the hanger straight. Coming up to store. Is he going to exceed a little bit of track limits like his teammate? We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't touch the corner out of store. No, keeps it within the track limits. So here comes Jay. Oh, big lock up there from Jay. Oh, that could have been an invalidation out of that corner. Final corner, here it comes. What time is it going to be? It's going to be P3, a 1:26.3. Not a bad lap there from Jay, even though he did make a little bit of a mistake. So now everybody is improving. His mark has actually improved, a 1:26.399. Also 1,000th off a 1:26.4. As now everybody has set a lap time, as we'll go on board with Felix No, Felix actually isn't on a lap, but Sondre is, as I believe he's now entering... entering Brooklands, as Matthew has just beaten his provisional best, a 125.9, promotes himself to first place. What a lap there from Matthew. Great lap there, 125.9. See what Sondre can do, coming out of corpse. Already building up his speed, coming up to Maggots and Beckett. He goes in 8th gear. Then quickly, actually, surprisingly, goes down in 7th. I would have stayed in 8th. Gone through Chapel, stays in gear 5, goes gear 6. Down the hanger straight. Let's see what lap time it's going to be from Sondre. See if he's up on his time. Have to wait and see. Nice. And, oh, actually, bit of dirt. Oh, that could have been an invalidation from Sondre there. Bad entry and a bad exit out of Store's corner, as his yellow flag's in sector 2, so someone has either spun it in Maggots and Beckett or have lost it from Corpse corner. As Sondre promotes himself back to 5th place, 126.5, as he will go on board with... Who's on a lap? We'll go on board with Collingwood, as Collingwood is actually not on a good lap. He's almost 7 seconds down on his time and exceeds Store's track limits, and yeah. That happened there, as I don't believe Matthew's going to be on another lap. So who's ahead out of Tom and Can? Can's ahead on track, so we'll have to wait and see what he does. As Tyler's saying, that is quick from Matthew, and yeah, not surprising. Matthew is very quick around this track. But so is everybody else around here. Everybody's quick at their own tracks, so wait and see what anybody else can do. See if anybody can match Matthew today. Closest person right now is Amir, who's set 126.299. Who's still in the pits with only 2 minutes and 50. Oh, actually now he's actually on an outlap. As we stay on board with Can, and we've got a rear cam review of the front end. Can's car currently in 10th place with 126.9. He's currently up by 0.08 of a second. Coming through at Brooklands corner. Runs a bit wide but gets a nice and tidy entry. Sorry, exits out of Brooklands. Coming up to Corpse corner now. Goes into 8th gear, 178 through Corpse. So he's lifted off a lot there. Maybe his setup doesn't want him to go max speed through that corner, because that can lose you a lot of time. Nice and tight through Maggots and Beckett. Out of Chapel. Bit in the grass there from Can there. On the hanger straight. Is it going to be? I don't believe Matthew Alder's going to have enough time to do another lap. We'll have to wait and see, because it is a very slow pit lane. As here comes Can out of Vale. Into Club's corner, into the final corner now. Almost out of ERS. Just saving as much ERS as he can, but he does improve by just over a 10th. 126.7. And he retires from the session after that lap, so he's called that one a day. Hopefully this doesn't affect anybody on track, as Tom was the next person to finish the lap, who's also... Well, it's just said he was a 10th up, and now he's 2 seconds down. And he must be 2 seconds down since his DRS isn't open, so I believe he's going to give it another go. As his yellow's in sector 3. Now, who should we go on board with? Should we go on board with Nino Romanello? Nino is currently on a lap, but who's ahead? Amir is actually ahead of Nino Romanello, so we'll go on board with Amir, and then we'll go on board with Nino after Amir's done his lap. As make sure everything is functioning correctly. Yes, everything is. As Amir, as his yellows again in 6-3, that's people slowing down for their laps, hopefully they don't get in people's way. Nice and tidy so far for Amir. Coming through Corpse corner. Oh, Sondre has retired from the session now. Has he crashed? Or has he retired it into the pits? I believe he was in the pits, so he may have called that a day in qualifying. As we'll stay on board with Amir right now, who's absolutely flying currently. And he's currently over a 10th improvement, so this could be a 126.1 or 126 flat. But you could find some more time, maybe a 25.9 as well, so we'll have to wait and see. This track evolution has improved a lot, as Matthew isn't quick enough to set another lap time, As here comes Amir, the first one to set a lap over Nino. It's a 1:26.1. So 1.5 tenths improvement. What about Nino Romanello? Almost 2 tenths improvement now. What time is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:26.3. Promotes himself to 3rd place as we'll go on board with Jay, who's actually improving. What about Mark? Oh, Mark is lost it out of Maggots and Beckett. As I don't know if Aaron Collwood isn't on a lap. So that must have been an invalidation. Hopefully he gets out of the driver's way. Probably could have messed up Felix there, but we'll have to see as he has to get out of the way of the Red Bulls. He is in the way of the Red Bulls. But Samuel Nazar's now in the way of Jay. This is not good for Jay. Jay needs to get past Samuel Nazar. Samuel Nazar gets out of the way. Collingwood needs to get out of the way, and yes, he does. Jay now goes through store, gets a beautiful slipstream out of both those cars. See what time is he going to be, or has he lost it through Maggots and Beckett? You have to wait and see. Another lock up into Vale Corner. Comes out of club, nice and tidy, exits through the final corner. Let's see what time it is going to be. Is it going to be close to Matthew? It is. Performs himself to 2nd place, not even under 25.9. It's a 26 flat. As Mark can no longer improve and nobody else will improve. So this is your starting grid for the race as Matthew Alder, first round, has already showed his true pace and 1st place out of Jay in 2nd. Amir in 3rd, Nino Romanella in P4. As I will go down the rest of the grid when Samuel Nazar and Mark retire, since they're not going to do any more laps. We'll stay on board with Matthew since he's had a decent qualifying. As there we go, Samuel Nazar does retire from this session. I do agree with you there, Louis there. There was a bit of team play there. As I've told you, the top 4 already. As Mark is in 5th, Cameron Young in 6th, Sondre Sorhaug in 7th, his lucky number. 8th is Aaron Collingwood, 9th is Brandon Glover, 10th is Nick, 11th is Can, 12th is Tom, 13th is Lewis Marshall, and 14th is Felix Negwer, and last and not least, in 15th on the grid is Samuel Nazar. As Lewis Marshall has said, me and Felix are very washed up, being happy not being last. Well, it's not the worst place to be last out of this track. It's actually kind of a gift. Hopefully there was no extreme track extending there from you, Jay, because that could be investigated. As it looks cloudy now. Is there rain later in the race? As we're waiting for everybody to sort their strategies out. But if it's dry as all race, it's an instant one stop. Soft to mediums or medium to soft. There's no point using the hard tyres unless you have collision into turn 1 on that one. But I believe you can actually make the mediums work from there as well. As we should be on the way in 10 seconds. Oh yeah, I do agree with you there, Tyler, mate. Midfield is the worst place, and I remember this from last season after I got killed by the safety car, after I tried to avoid Joe Hollis and Lee Kelly after a little bit of an incident, and unfortunately I had nowhere else to go and I hit the safety car. But yeah, I know what it's like, don't worry. As we should be on the way very shortly, is we are waiting on Matthew. Hopefully it hasn't lagged out the session, hopefully there's no glitch. Please don't tell me there's a glitch. Please. No. No. Oh, I think there's a bug here. I think Matthew's got a problem with his internet. It reminds me of last season when it was him and Sondre doing comms for F2, and for some reason his internet does not like this track. Are we restarting? I'll just ask Sondre, are we restarting? Just give me 2 seconds. Waiting for Sondre to read my message. Because it is half-6, and there is a another race after this, I believe, a pre-season for the Group 3 season, which should be brought by another commentator, so I believe that may be streamed later on the channel. What is happening, Sondre? Are we having a restart? Yes, we are. There is an official restart since there's been the connection issue with Matthew Alder. So we'll have to back out. And hopefully this doesn't have the problem again, because if that's a problem for Matthew, that may need him to get it sorted. It'd be unfair for him, like, because he did qualify first. So, and hopefully Sondre can get the lobby up as soon as he can. As we're just waiting for my invite, and then I'll get in the lobby with Sondre. But yeah, I do agree this field is a very quick field. I think if you were here, you'd probably be midfield. Same with Samuel Nazar. Midfield when you get the right setup and everything, since I have raced you two. You two are quicker than me, so let's give you that. Well, I'm sorry to say this, Matthew, but it was your network, because your connection did the exact same thing as last time. Sorry to say that, Matthew, but it was your internet. But either way, it doesn't matter, since Sondre will be restarting it, and I haven't had my invite. Ball. No, I'm only just messing. As I'm still... Right, is Mark, if you're in Sondre's party town, send me an invite when you can. Or tell Matthew to tell me, because I still haven't got it. Cheers. Sorry for the delay, guys. We'll be underway as soon as we can. Just Codemasters usually get one bug fixed and then there's another bug. So I guarantee when this bug's fixed, I guess there'll be either a pit stop bug or a safety car bug like last time. But we'll have to wait and see. As I have been invited to the lobby. Thank you, Bottle Hog. That is right, Tyler. As I could get my spectator spot. Please tell me he may need the grid, actually. But even if he doesn't need it, I'll send it to him. So I will send that to him. Alright, Sondre, mate, if you are in the stream, I have sent you the current grid. That's what it was. We'll have to wait for the lobby. I think we had this problem last week as well. Yeah, I believe we did have the problem last week in the pre-season for F1, I believe. We had a bit of a problem. I do apologise if you can hear my PS4 fan. It is a bit loud. but I can't help that, so I do apologise. Should be underway very shortly since everybody is in the lobby. Well, except one driver apparently. Don't know who. I don't know why people are starting to ready up, because the lobby isn't ready, so we'll have to wait and see. Oh, with the bug. As I believe Sondre has now got the grid ready. Could be wrong, unless he's just changed his setting deliberately so they don't ready up. Nope, he's got the grid ready, so everyone is now green to go. I think that isn't. I don't think that is everyone. We did say restart, so everybody knew there was a restart. So if somebody hasn't made it, let's make sure no one's messaged. So make sure everyone is in. I believe it's actually Amir. No, Amir's in. So where's? Ah, Lee's not turned up today. Gotcha. Right. We're just waiting for everybody to go, as I will be doing interviews today, so that'll be fun for me. So we're just waiting. While wait, might as well go for the race prediction. If it's dry, of course. Well, it will be dry because it was partly dry at the start, but there may be still wet near the end. But only Sondre knows that. So for my prediction, I believe Matthew's actually going to win. When he's in his correct position, I think he'll do well. I think he can hold it. However, he has got a talented driver behind him called Jay, who's going to be very quick right behind him. So those two, top two, one first Matthew, second Jay. Third, now third could be either Nino, Amir, or Aaron. I think those three they're going to get third, and I believe fourth maybe Sondre. If Sondre can keep out of trouble into turn one and just be consistent with his lap times and everything, I think he could get fourth. You never know, he could get surprises and win the race. But it is Bottlehaug. As the weather is the same, so it might have actually been cloudy. As for everybody now to pick this up, hopefully we do not have the same glitch again. Please don't glitch out, game. If Matthew readies up first, then we know it's not a bug. Well, then, sorry, no, we know then it wasn't, isn't it? Session is starting. Nino's readied up. Brandon's readied up. There we go, everyone's ready up. So hopefully no bug this time, because if it is, we're going to have to do another quick restart, and it is annoying. As I don't think there will be a glitch this time. Everyone's loaded. Jay's not loading. No, don't do it again. No. Oh, for God's sake. I think it's done it again. Now it's Jay this time. Why? I think it's done it again. For God's sake. This is annoying. Why is it doing it? Why is it this track it does it on? Every time it's either Britain, Singapore, it's always this track. Come on, guys. Come on, Codemasters. Fix this game. Like, seriously. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. It's been an amazing race. I win F1, round 1, you know. Me doing comms. I win the race, eh? Sondre is going to have to do another restart. This is getting a bit ridiculous now, because we're going to have to be very quick with this one, because there is GT3 pre-season at 8 o'clock today, or 3 PM Eastern Standard Time for the Americans. But I don't know if that's streamed yet or not, so I do apologise for this delay. Is it gonna? I don't know if it's gonna. Are we restarting or what? Nick, I'm not. We can't just tell Jay to leave. It's not his fault that there is this problem because Matthew had it last time. So we're gonna have to wait. But if Jay leaves, then he's gonna. Well, he has got a chance to join back actually, yeah. But I don't know if it'll kick him out of the formation lap. So we'll have to wait and see. Second restart. Alright, so it has been confirmed. We will be doing a second restart. Oh. What are we doing, Ball? Are we having a restart or are we... Yeah, I know, Lance. I don't know what the problem is. Don't know if it's a network problem or it's a Cody's problem. I don't know. But this happened last season in IRL. At this track, as Matthew and Sondre was doing comms, and it happened 3 times. So hopefully, and then it did eventually go after Matthew left and rejoined. As now it starts. Sondre, the lobby has now started, but the grid is like completely old. Like there's cars on the side, there's cars going left, and yeah, but the lap hasn't. Yep, it is green, but no one's going. So yeah, I think it is going to be a restart. So I'll back out as well. Do apologise to this, guys. You can blame Cody's for this. It's ridiculous. As oh, we'll have to just wait for my invite again. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to send some messages out to chat. Could be worse, Lance. We could have had this bug in the group. Well, technically we did have this bug, didn't we, in the Group 4 season in DG Sport, where it sometimes glitched out of qualifying. Are you sure, Sondre? Alright then, so it looks like Matthew Alder will be hosting, so hopefully it doesn't glitch again. I think it's just this track, Sondre. I don't know. I think this track's cursed. But Sondre, has he got the grid order? Because I sent you the grid order, so if he doesn't have it, tell him the grid order and tell him to also invite me when you can, please. Thank you. Oh, Lewis Marshall and Tyler, bloody hell. Ah, yeah, you gotta love Cody's. They're making an F1 game and it always breaks. Well, I can fix that problem there for you, Ty. Get more food. I believe I've just been invited. Yes, I have, by Sondre. Ah. So the weather was overcast, so there's no rain. We'll go for a run, Tyler, while you watch this then, eh? Instead of having food. Oh, I'm running mess. Oh. Hopefully there is no problem this time. Nah, Lewis, I think that's your race pace, you know? You're that slow, eh? I'm only messing. Yeah, I do agree. The game's alright, but bugs like this are so easy to be fixed. Because they fixed it last year's game, and they've been working on this game for 2 years, so they must have had the last year's stuff. So why can't they fix a little bug? You know what I mean? It's annoying. The thing is though, when you message code masters about this, they don't change anything. Or they don't listen to your message. So. As soon as Matthew goes green and ready's up, we can all go. As we are going underway, so Matthew has done it very quickly. And Samuel Nazar and Tom haven't readied it up. If they're readied up, we would get in the lobby instantly, but it's no point now, so it's only a few seconds. Who's messaged me? Colin Woods messaged me. What do you want? Not surprising. Yo, I'm gonna have to retire at the end of the race. Well, that's unfortunate. So Nick's gonna have to retire at the end of the race because I think he has some stuff to do after. Well, that's what Cody said, mate. When the game was made, it was 2 years in the making. But you know what? They lie about a lot of stuff. They lied that they fixed the 2017 safety car bug, which I got told, and it's a load of cobblers because the safety car bug's still there in 2017. Best game Cody's did, in my opinion, was 2012 because there was no bugs, there was no problems, and the red flag was there. But now they've had the safety car, no red flag, so it's not really realistic. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut now until hopefully we get on the grid. Yes, it's worked. There we go, as Jay is in excitement, weaving already, as we're about to start well, we have started the formation lap, but we'll eventually get into the race, as Matthew Alder leads, Jay in second, third is Amir, fourth is Nino Romanello, fifth place is Mark in the Haas, his teammate is in P6, Cameron Young, seventh is Sondre Sorhaug, who's already been disqualified from the formation lap. Aaron Collingwood has also been disqualified from the formation lap as well. Brandon Glover in P9, Nicholas in P10, hopefully he can finish the race, but he has said he may have to retire. As Can is in P11, 12th is Tom, 13th is Felix Negwer, not the best position he's been in, but he's in 13th right now. He is on the medium tyre, so hopefully he can improve. Samuel Nazar in 14th. Now, I don't know why Lewis is actually 15th if he joined late and his grid position was wrong. As Lance says, it's a Christmas miracle. Oh, I have to agree on that, Matt. It's not Christmas yet, but it's already a miracle. As Lewis is at the back of the grid. Well, there's no rain on the track, as we know it's going to be overcast. As Matthew's backing him up very sensibly. Hopefully there's been no contact. Now, Matthew can back up as slow as he wants, really. But not slow enough where there'll be contact and everything like that, as Aaron and Sondre still back of the grid. We've got RNAI. Is Matthew now starting to feel the pressure building up? Have to wait and see, because all these drivers' blood will be boiling right now, as it will be the first round, the first lap, first start of Britain this season. Will Matthew lead into turn 1, or will Jay get a decent start and take him alongside? We'll have to wait and see, as we're waiting for everybody else to line up on the formation lap. We already know Aaron and Sondre may not have the best of starts since their tyres will be cold. Comes out to the final corner. They're the only two who have been disqualified. As here is the race we wanted to see. Matthew versus Jay versus everybody else. Will be lights out very soon, as we had a weird bit of a camera view there. As the light sequence is on, and here we go, 3 lights, 4 lights. Now we have 5 red lights, and we are waiting as they go out. Matthew and Jay have had a decent start. A bit of wheel spin there from Jay. Matthew had no wheel spin, but look at him here, he's already had a decent start. Trying to get alongside Jay, as there's a Renault off the track as it took the escape road. I believe that's also Lewis Marshall as well, who has took the escape road. As Sondre has already dropped to 11th place, as there are a lot of drivers that could have exceeded track limits, and yes there is, but that will probably be taken off because that is a bit harsh, that 10-second time penalty. As Jay is in P2, already on the back of Matthew Alder, just staying so close. There's a battle further down track, a Williams driver and a Mercedes driver, that is Brandon and Nicholas. Cameron Young hasn't had the best to start. Nicholas goes round the outside of Brandon. Is he going to make the move work? Nicholas on the inside now. Brandon Brooklands into left field, and yes, he does. However, look at Can. Can's looking feisty on those medium tyres, trying to pass both drivers, as it's the two Haas sandwich over a Williams. Excuse me. As we're back to the front, Matthew is now building a bit of a gap. 6/10 currently the gap is, but he's building a very slow gap. This isn't good for him, because now Jay could have a good run out of the exit of Chapel. Nino Romanello still in P4, slowly catching on Amir, as Aaron Collingwood has already passed Mark SB round the outside, going outside around Stowe, already made the move before Stowe corner. Oh, that is exceeding track limits. That could be investigated from Aaron Collingwood there. He should, in my opinion, give back the position, but we'll have to see what the stewards think of that, as Mark Espy is all over the back of him. As actually, hang on a minute, look at Brandon Glover. He's being very desperate, thinking of going into turn 1 to try and make the move, but doesn't do it, stays behind him, as Felix is now currently in 10th place, as Lewis Marshall again is going off track. But look at this, Sondre versus Lewis Marshall versus Thomas. Bit of contact there from Lewis Marshall and Tom, as now Sondre is looking feisty around the outside. He's on the fast tyre, no wing damage currently. but he is at back of the grid. However, his teammate in the lead. Currently, Jay and Matthew have got a gap of Amir over 1.5 seconds, and Jay's got the gap over 1.1. As Mark has already got past Collingwood again, as Aaron Collingwood has had contact with Cameron Young, and he's actually technically, that is definitely going to be investigated from Aaron Collingwood, because he reset to track. He shouldn't have done that. That shouldn't be allowed. I don't believe it is. So Aaron Collingwood may be getting penalty for that problem with contact with Sondre. I know Sondre under that helmet will be absolutely furious with Aaron Collingwood right now, and so Cameron Young with the contact those two had. As Matthew Alder still in the lead, over 3/10 now the gap is, but Emir is caught up actually from 1.1 seconds now to 6/10 on Jay. The battle in the front isn't getting as intense yet, but it will be getting intense for Matthew very soon. He'll be having two other quick drivers right on his tail. Currently Matthew's being calm, being very patient right now, and just trying to stay focused on the job he has to do. But Aaron Collingwood was out of order with that reset to track in my opinion. But Nino Romanella still in P4, losing a bit of time now to a mere 1.1 seconds currently, but it's a good job from him. An F2 drive from last season, already in F1 and already battling near the top. P4 at the moment as it is. As Mark is in P5 with Nicholas in P6. Brandon in P7. And Felix Negwer in 8th now from back of the grid, so good job there from Felix Negwer. Can in P9, and Samuel Nazar also a good start from him in P10. Aaron Collingwood is already in P11, so surprised he got through the field quite quickly. As Nino has now been caught up a lot by Mark, but back to the battle in front, which is going to be very crucial very soon. Coming up to Corp's corner. Jay is right behind Matthew Alder, currently 3/10 roughly, as Amir exceeds track limits a tiny bit there. Could be in a warning. As coming through Maggots and Beckett out of trouble. Nino's already got a 3-second time penalty. He probably got it through Maggots and Beckett, but look how close Amir is on Jay right now, as Amir is all over the back end of Jay. Is he going to get a good run? But what about Jay? We'll have to wait and see. Is the straight long enough? Not right. Oh, actually, I don't know. Is Jay going to have a look? No, he doesn't. Stays behind Matthew. This is a tiny bit of time. Amir also quite close. Now Matthew's blood will start to be boiling a little bit, because now he's got 3 cars and he's losing a bit of time now, because if these 3 keep battling, Nino will slowly catch up. So Matthew needs to stay focused on the job and try and pull a gap right now. But Jay is all over Matthew Alder right now. He's going a cockpit view. Nice and tidy from Jay currently. Thing is though, Matthew's tyres actually will be a lot better than the drivers. He's actually battling, as Sondre gets another time penalty. He has to be careful. If he gets too many, he will be disqualified. He's now got 13 seconds of time penalties after that 10-second one maybe dropped. As him and Cameron Young are on hard tyres. They're the only two who will be on hards, I believe. As Jay is just all over the back of him right now. As Jay is right behind, but you also have to watch from Amir, because Amir's all over him. But what about Nino and Mark? An F4 driver in a different league, and Mark was an F2, but now Mark is in the top league in IRL in F1 as Candace retired from the session. What has happened in Sector 2? So he's lost it somewhere, and I don't know where, as he had contact with any of the drivers ahead. As we'll go on board with Cameron Young. Stay on board, and Lewis got a 3-second time penalty. As I can't see his car right now, he hasn't passed him yet. He's left the session, Can. What has happened to Can? Has he just lost the... I don't know where he's crashed. I legit do not know where he has crashed. He's gone off somewhere. As Matthew sets the fastest lap, 1:30.2. His current gap between Nino and Amir is over 2.1 seconds. It's a good battle. 3 different teams battling for the top 3. As Jack Oil isn't here today, one of the is the champion from last season, so hopefully he can make it back for next week and come for the title to retake his title. It's currently the gap between Matthew, Jay and Amir is, well, almost the same really, over 5/10. As they look, Mark is now just got past Nino, and Mark can now slowly start to try and catch up with Amir, Jay and Matthew, but he has to still watch out for Nino Romanella, because Nino's still in the slipstream, still within the DRS, so we'll have to wait and see. This is actually one of the closest battles currently, as we'll stay on board instead of the top 3. As this is the close battle where a move will be possible. As Brandon from his teammate is over, oh well, actually almost over 2 seconds. Ooh. As the gap currently for Mark, and oh, hang on a minute, who was spun in sector 2? It is a Lewis Marshall. Has to be careful not to get in Cameron Young's way. And Lewis, no, he's doing what he did last season, doing the donuts. So, as we've had enough of that, as we'll go back on board with Jay. You know, we'll stay on board with Jay and Amir. As Matthew says, another fastest lap, a 1:29.9 currently right now. As Matthew started to pick up the pace a tiny bit as Collingwood has left the session. So something has happened there between Collingwood and I believe Samuel Nazar. So I'll just go on board with Collingwood. Oh, is that Lewis Marshall doing donuts? No, it's not. Has he got wing damage? No, I think he's just lagged out of the session. As currently Matthew again looks like he's going to beat his lap. As the close battle again is actually Nino Romanello, and oh, actually Lewis Marshall does pit. So is Lewis going to retire into the pits, or is he going to go on a different set of tyres and actually finish this race? We'll have to wait and see. As he's still in the pits, hasn't retired yet, so he must be staying out. As Nino Romanello, he's actually pulling away from his team. It's staying close to Mark. Now I know these two are running the exact same setup. Actually, is he? He's almost actually using my helmet. As Nino's staying with him, 7/10 right now. But in my opinion, if I was Nino, I'd back off and save his tyres, because in a few laps they will be dead and they could make him spin out of a high-speed corner. As Lewis Marshall goes on a set of hards currently right now. As the next closest battle, I believe, is actually Jay and Matthew, Alder and Amir right now. Even though Nicholas is 5/10 off Matthew, not Matthew, off Brandon. I apologise there. We'll stay on board with this battle for the lead because it may heat up very soon. But if the gap between Nick and Brandon gets under like 2/10, I will switch to them. Felix has got a 5-second gap to him and Nicholas, but however he's got Samuel Nazar, who's gaining on him very slowly. Those three on the medium tyres, so they could be on the best strategy currently right now, because the gap from Felix to the leader is 13.2 seconds, so he needs to start picking the pace up a little bit if he wants to have a chance to catch up with everybody else ahead of him. So he needs to start picking up the pace, as Jay is under 2/10 right now. Is all over the back of Matthew, coming up to Maggots and Beckett's. But this dirt, yeah, won't be helping him. This could be actually affecting his time. But look how close Jay is on Matthew right now. Let's see if Jay is going to go for the move on the inside. Matthew does not defend on the inside. Jay is going to go on the inside to take the lead provisionally of this race through Store Corner, and is now in the lead of this race. This isn't going to worry him too much though, because now Matthew is behind him, and Matthew now will start to get in the dirt. Yeah, what he experienced from Matthew. As Jay will now try and pull away as quickly as he can. As currently Amir has to be patient and wait, so he doesn't actually get involved in this battle, because this actually could ruin his race. As Jay, oh, look how close Matthew caught up to Jay there into the braking zone. Nice and tidy exit from Jay there, coming up to corner there. Nice and tidy exit as Matthew Alder. He's actually losing a lot of time. Jay's trying to break the toe. Nice and tidy exit through that corner. As give me a minute, the stream on the channel is just froze. Ah, there it goes back. Do apologise for that. As currently they are approaching Corpse's corner. Matthew is losing a lot of time. Currently the gap is now 6/10. Amir is under 5/10. We'll get DRS. Excuse me. But however, I believe Matthew isn't close enough to get the position back, so I'm going to go on board with Nicholas. Someone has crashed in sector 3. Now, is that Bottlehaug? No, it's not. Is it Lewis Marshall? Yes, it is. Lewis Marshall is off and gets a 10-second time penalty, I believe, again. Oh! Lewis Marshall. I don't know what. No, Lewis, don't be an idiot. Lewis. Oh, God. Lewis is reversing on track when there's guys who are going a lot faster than him. Phil on the track as I will go on board with Nicholas right now, which is now kind of... Oh, actually, hang on a minute. This is actually a close battle. Samuel Nazar tries to switch back, tries to do a Verstappen and a Vettel, especially in that corner. Isn't the best place to make a move. But Samuel Nazar thinks better of it. And currently Tom is now slowly catching up as Aaron Cullenwood is over 30 seconds behind and has already been passed by Cameron Young. Cameron Young will be happy finally to get past him. Sector 3, again, I believe it's just Lewis Marshall, and I believe Lewis Marshall should just retire the car, because I do not know what he is doing. It is ridiculous right now, because I don't believe there's any drivers near. Well, yeah, actually there is actually Sondre. But I don't know what he is doing right now, Lewis, so I don't know. As we're still on board with the battle for the lead, Jay versus Matthew Alder, as we will go on board actually with Samuel Nazar very soon. But currently I want to stay on board with the battle for the lead. The gap is 4 tenths for Jay and Matthew and Amir is also under 4 tenths. This battle is getting very tasty right now. As here they come, is Matthew going to get a run on Jay? Nope, Matthew doesn't get a run on Jay as his yellow flags again in sector 1 and 2, and I'm not even going to look because I believe that is Lewis Marshall yet again causing the yellow flags. Now this isn't good because eventually he may cause a safety car, which could be a problem. As Amir pits, Amir does pit, gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That isn't good there for Amir, so he's the first one to make a pit stop. Brandon is following suit and doing the undercut, and the undercut is very powerful here, so we'll see how Brand does also in the pit stops. As we'll go on board with Mark SP, who's now in provisional P3, as Jay is still provisional P1. Now Matthew has got a bit of breathing space now, because now Matthew has got no driver behind him, so Matthew and Jay can now pull away a tiny bit more from Amir, well actually mainly Matthew, because now he's in DRS, and look how close Matthew's getting to Jay. He knows if Jay pits now, he needs to get ahead of him, really. He hopes he gets held up in the pits, but he needs to get ahead of him. That's his main goal, is to get ahead of Jay, but Jay is defending brilliantly right now over Matthew, as Matthew has not been able to get past him since the overtake from Jay. But look how close Matthew is, almost touching his gearbox, coming through Mackett and Beckett under 2 tenths of a second. Oh, Matthew made a tiny error there and it's cost him a bit of time, now over 3 tenths, but Matthew's still quite close, could get an overtake into the lead. Tries a switch back, goes on the inside, that is a very late switch, and takes the lead, stops Jay keeping the lead at Store's corner, and I believe that's Lewis again. Yes it is, I don't know what Lewis is doing, as Lewis has got a collision with an AI. It looks like as Matthew pits, Jay second comes into the pits. Mark and Nino now is into the pits. Now this is going to be crucial for Jay, because Jay now could get hold up by Mark and Nino Romanello, and Matthew could get away with this. This isn't going to, as Nick has had to leave the game, leave the race. He's had to retire from the session. So we'll have to wait and see how much Jay got hold up a tiny bit. Will Matthew get ahead? Yes, Matthew gets ahead. What about Mark and Nino? Nino doesn't get ahead. After Nick has called it quits. Where is Amir going to get into this battle? Amir takes P1. Amir, an amazing undercut there from Amir there, takes the lead of this race, as there is a virtual safety car after, I believe that is either Lewis Marshall crashing or it's actually Nicholas retiring in the pit lane. I don't understand why they have to bring the safety car out, but virtual safety car nonetheless. Was that me or was that Collinwood racing? No, I don't believe it is. Lewis pitting, yeah. Lewis, mate, I'd just retire now from the session, mate, because you're not going to get any points. So you may have actually caused that virtual safety car. So hopefully you didn't, but you may have caused it. It's Felix. He's currently in the lead, and he won't be liking this virtual safety car unless it lasts a lot longer, and it doesn't. The safety car has ended. Felix has got over a second over Samuel Nazar. Now Felix will peel into, no, actually he won't peel into pits for another few laps. So Tom, Samuel Nazar and Felix in a bit of trouble right now because they could get caught quite quickly from Amir, who's currently technically in the lead, as Jay has lost a lot of time. Him and his team, well, sorry, not him and his teammate, him and Matthew, the gap currently is 2.8 seconds. Let's look at Mark. Oh, as Jay actually did exceed a bit of track limits there. It's actually, wait a minute, has he got damage? Why is he back into the pits? Is this Jay like retiring, or is this game over for the win today from Jay? Because I don't know what has happened, as I believe they're the red wall of tyres. Now he has got wing damage, as his team made a mistake. I don't know what he's doing. If he can make those softs last over 10 laps, I'll be very surprised. As Lewis isn't causing a safety car. Who has? Oh no, sorry, Jay has called it quits. Jay has retired from the session. So Jay, who was technically second place, and then after his pit stop was provisionally third, is out. And I don't understand why. However, Felix now is in lead, but hang on, this has actually brought Nino Romanello into technically P3 possibly, if he can catch up back with Mark. But Mark could ruin his day. But that may be a possible battle for the final podium spot, as Cameron Young is finally into 10th. So we get the final point spot, as Yellow's still in sector 1, but that's because of Jay's car. Felix still in lead, not pitting yet, neither is Tom, but actually there is an AI involved. Felix will be furious over Collingwood's AI, telling him to get out of the way. But Felix, look at that, look at the AI, just getting into his way, not moving at all, but finally does. Samuel Nasdal is also going to have to deal with this problem with the AI, as Matthew Alder sets the new fastest lap, 129.6 on a set of medium tyres. Now, will Sondre steal that fastest lap when he could pit for another set of softs? He is on the set of hards, and he's 23 seconds off Brandon. So, and he's got over 18.2 seconds of a gap from Cameron Young. It may be just 1 point he'd lose, but if he did get the fastest lap, he would get that point anyway. But currently Matthew Alder is the closest battle, well, the second closest battle is actually Nino and Mark, but this close battle is actually Amir and Matthew Alder. Matthew Alder is actually battling for provisionally P1. Look how much Amir is caught up with the AI around Collingwood, but this has unsettled Amir, because now look at Matthew, look how close he's caught up. He was very smart there, waited for Amir actually to close up to Aaron Collingwood and slow down a tiny bit. But here comes Matthew Alder now, right behind Amir. Is he going to go on the inside? Amir is defending the inside line. Matthew wants that inside line, doesn't go for it. Going to go around the outside into Store Corner. And around the outside he goes, makes the position work with ease. And that is Bottlehaug. Sondre has retired from the session. Has he crashed in Maggots and Beckett's now? Oh no, please tell me no. I don't know what has happened to Bottlehaug. Sondre has retired from the session, so that he will not get double points for his team. He will not get the fastest lap. And there'll be only 9 people who will be getting points there, unless Lewis Marshall does finish this race and gets 10th. But I believe Aaron's in AI still. So Cameron's going to say thank you very much for the free position, as he's got a big gap, almost a minute of. As Matthew Alder's actually just got past Samuel Naz around the outside. No, Samuel Naz defends brilliantly and stops Matthew in his tracks. Samuel Naz needs to pit, so Matthew, in my opinion, needs to get past him very quickly, because this is costing him time. And this is making Amir catch up, and I believe that was Renault rear wing. I think he's lost it through Woodcut in the field, I believe. He's just touched the gravel, lost the rear end, and just gone into the wall. And Samuel Nazar through Mackett to Beckett. Oh, that was close between Samuel Nazar and Matthew, almost touching tyres. This isn't good for Amir. Amir must be thinking, get this Red Bull out of the way, so you're holding me up to stop attacking Matthew, as Matthew will be grinning right now to stay ahead of Samuel Nazar and really affect him. Oh, look at a dive from Amir out of nowhere, and he takes P4. Great drive from Amir, as actually Samuel Nazar is pitting. Well, with him and Cameron Young are pitting, so Cameron Young is going to try and steal that fastest lap, since he's now 9th. As Matthew Alder is in P3, but the battle for the lead is holding up. Tom in and out from Romeo Sauber versus Felix. Negwer, who would like to have been in the Alfa Romeo, which I'm quite surprised. But he's currently in the Ferrari, currently in the lead, which we know he won't be able to keep because he will have to pit. As actually not the bit closest, but as actually Nino Romanello and Mark. Two quick drivers currently right now, really catching each other up. Need to actually teammates, hopefully, in the Group 3 season of IRL GT Sport. As Nino Romanello's going on the outside and they touch tyres there. Mark's ran a bit wide. I believe he actually gave the position there to Nino. And Nino passes Mark and gets ahead of him. So Nino's now currently net P3. As Nino will be happy with that. What about Felix and Tom? Now actually, Amir is actually quite close as well. As we'll go on board with Amir, he's already on the inside of Matthew. I don't know if this was tactical for Matthew because he didn't really defend. As Tom doesn't pit, Felix pits. Now Tom is going to have to do a great in-lap if he wants to get ahead of Felix Negwer, because we've already seen the undercut is a lot faster than the overcut. As Amir sets a new fastest lap, 129.5, quicker than Matthew right now. Matthew is currently in P3, Nino, P4, Samuel Nazar is actually retired from the session. What has happened with Samuel Nazar? I don't know what has happened with Samuel Nazar there, but Felix is coming out, so another retirement, which I believe this will actually promote Lewis Marshall into 10th place, and actually will get a point. As look at this, Nino Romanello and Mark battling for P5 currently right now. The gap is under 2/10 of a second. Mark is all over Nino, but I will snap on board with a battle for P2 very soon. I don't know what Lewis Marshall is doing now. He's now on the full wet weather tyres. Now, I don't know if this may be investigated with Lewis Marshall here, because in theory he could ruin somebody's race if he makes a mistake. And hopefully he doesn't, so have to wait and see. I don't know what he is doing. As now Mark SB. No, Matthew actually wasn't close enough to Amir this time, but what about Mark? Mark is right behind Nino Romanello. How their ERS compared to Nino. Nino's got a little bit more ERS, not really using it though. Mark closes up, but not enough. Cameron Young sets the new fastest lap, 128.6 over, well actually 9/10 quicker than what the last fast lap. But look at Mark out of Club and Vale, gets a nice tidy exit through the inside of the final corner. No contact made, and outstanding driving there from Mark and Nino. Now, will Tom get ahead of Felix Negwer? We'll have to wait and see, as there's only 9 laps I believe left of the race, including this one. Nino's holding P3 right now, but now the battle for the lead is hotting up. Amir versus Matthew yet again. There was actually a battle with him and Jay, but since Jay has retired, as you can actually see there's a lot of wing damage there, so I believe that's where also Can retired from the session where Sondre retired. As I will have to switch from both drivers, Matthew and Nino, because Nino is under attack from Mark, but Matthew is attacking Amir. Currently the gap is 5/10, but I might have to switch back to the battle with Nino. Nino is a lot closer, sorry not Nino, Mark is a lot closer to Nino, as currently the gap for 5th place to 4th is over 8.6 seconds. But currently I believe the Mercedes will be in the lead of the Constructors' Championship right now, I believe. I could be wrong actually. 10, 15... No, they'll be tying actually with McLaren if Amir holds the lead, and also tying with Renault. Actually no, Amir's a reserve, so I don't believe he gets points for the Constructor team. I think he just gets it for himself. So actually yeah, they will be in the lead, technically, and I believe McLaren gets 0 points. Could be mistaken there. As yellow flagged in sector 1. Who is that? That is not any of the front runners. Is that Lewis Marshall? Lewis, mate, just get out of the way of drivers, because you're going to ruin that race. as Amir and Matthew, the battle is really heating up. Matthew wants to get past Amir, but he can't do it. What is Matthew doing? Why is he taking his time? This isn't like Matthew. He's usually aggressive all over the back end of someone, and right now he is just staying behind him. As also Mark and Nino are just battling away, costing a lot of time. These two weren't really bad. They could have a chance to catch up with Matthew, Alder and Amir. As currently the gap is from Nino and Matthew, 5.5 seconds. Oh, Nino's made a mistake, and Mark has said thank you very much. Nino ran extremely wide out of Chapel, so into Chapel, and didn't get the best exit out of Chapel, but Nino is not having it without DRS. Look at the slipstream he gained on Mark. Mark's having none of it. Mark is still on the inside, coming up to Vale corner, into the club corner, no contact yet as yet. Mark breaks a bit earlier, comes around the final corner trying to take the inside, hits the sausage curb, doesn't work, doesn't want to go on inside of turn 1, as after he had a bit of contact there in a practice race with me, he knows not to make a move there. As Lewis Marshall is currently in 10th place as he pits yet again, so I believe that's like his 6th pit stop. Sorry, it's 4th pit stop then, I should say. As he pits again, as now Mark is still behind Nino, and Matthew is still behind Amir. If Matthew gets any close, like under like 2/10 or something, as Felix actually got past Tom. That's another battle for 6th and 7th, which I didn't even notice until now, which is quite close. As they don't make moves, Felix gets a 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial for that position. As Mark is all over him, but however, look at Matthew. Matthew is now starting to put the pressure on. 0.4 of a second, is that enough? He's just losing it out of Chapel the time. As Amir running a lower downforce step on the straight, we'll have to wait and see, but here comes Matthew into the DRS slipstream. Is he going to go for a lunge? No, he does not. He's thought about it, but stays behind him. As we'll go back on board Nino and Mark. I don't believe Nino's going to make a move, so actually we'll stay on board with Matthew. Coming through Vale corner, look how much he closes on him. Into club section at the final corner, but just loses it on the exit. As Nino's defending out of this world to keep Mark behind him right now. But these two drivers have got a lot of respect for each other. So both of them will actually be loving this battle. They won't be happy to have it, but they'll be loving this battle nonetheless. As currently the gap is stabilised between Mark and Brand, still 8.8 to 8.6 seconds. Oh, there's yellow to sector 2. Let me guess, that is Lewis Marshall. As Lewis Marshall has now been seen to take out an AI. Okay, yeah, these two, I don't know what these two are doing, but in my opinion, they will be definitely getting investigated. So that may be happening at the end of the race. Because that is ridiculous from these two drivers. I know Aaron's not involved in this, but Aaron did cause a crash earlier, and that may be getting investigated, and also Lewis Marshall for the stupidity, in my opinion, he is doing. Like, he could, at the end of the day, it could be, he could ruin somebody's race. So enough for me mourning about that driver there, though. We'll go back on board with the battle for P3. Look how close. Nino is getting caught by Mark quite quickly, and look how much ERS Mark has got compared to Nino. As Mark is on the 3/10, sorry, on the 4/10 now, isn't going to get a good enough lunge, isn't going to go for the lunge. However, the deals again 6-3. Let me guess, it's Lewis Marshall causing the yellow flags as he comes into pits. Let's go on board with Felix, Negwer and Tom. Battle for P6 position for 8 points, or 6 points I believe. As Tom thinks about it, but then has to unthink about it, in my opinion. As someone has just come on the stream, so I'm going to have to pay attention to that. Stay on board with this battle. Oh, actually, no, he won't. We'll stay on board with Mark, because look how close Mark is. I believe so, Cameron, mate. I don't know what the 90% would be around here, because that's the only bit of maths I suck at. But yeah, I believe so. If you do the 90% rule, and you have to lead a session, you will be 8th anyway, so I believe you do get your points, as Sondre has actually confirmed it into the chat. look at Mark, right behind Nino. Oh, there is AI ahead of him. Is that Cameron Young? It is Cameron Young. Is this team play from the Haas drivers? Nope. Cameron gets out of the way of Nino. As it looks like actually Cameron Young's actually got wing damage. It is wing damage, but nonetheless it will go back on board with Mark. Mark's going on the inside of Store Corner. Mark is trying to take P3. He's on the inside line. What about Nino Romanello? Nino defends quite brilliantly onto the inside into Vale Corner. As actually it looks, nope, no damage on Mark's car. Round the outside goes Nino at the final corner. As Cameron Young has retired from the session. I believe that's because he's done the 90% rule now. Am I right, Sondre? He's done the 90% rule now? If you could tell me in the stream chat. As Nino again defends brilliantly there from Mark for P3. As we'll go back on board with Felix and Tom. As the AI of Ireland and Collingwood yet again gets in the way of these two. As we'll stay on board with Nino and Mark actually right now, because look how close these two are. This is the closest battle so far, as there's only a few laps left. As Felix has got a 5-second goal penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Now, if that is because of Cameron retiring and then passing in like that, those two penalties should be removed because they passed an AI car who was a lap down. So hopefully that can be removed and we'll get sorted out. As Mark tries again on the inside of Store's corner, but gets a bit of their exit. But Nino is defending excellently. But look at the outbreaks himself to try and get on the inside out of Vale corner. This one's getting another 3-second time penalty. I believe that's like over 20 seconds almost. But look at Mark. This time he's going to get a better run out of exit. The final corner going to take the inside line. Nino, what are these two doing into turn one? Mark has to lift off a tiny bit. Nino gets a 3-second time penalty. That was a bit harsh because he had to give space to Mark, but that 3-second time penalty will stay on because it's only a 3-second. We do not remove 3-second time penalties because then if everyone got a 3-second time penalty, they'll be asking it to be removed. As currently Mark yet again cannot get past Nino. But either way, this battle is intense. On the inside, Mark is going, but Nino yet again defends on the outside. This gives him a better run, but Mark's trying to go for the switchback. Won't work in this corner coming out of Brooklands, I believe, out of the field. Is now coming up to Corpse Corner. Look how much ERS is all safe from what Nino has. Mark's very good at his ERS saving, so this stuff he is running is a lot better than Nino's. It is my set which I did tweak for him, so well, it's actually technically Nino's. So they're running very similar setups as Nino's gone very deep into maybe some Beckett's, but not the best exit as Mark's got better exit than Nino. Oh, actually, I've just noticed this. Matthew Alder, without my knowledge, has actually got past him here. Kicked it up a notch and already pulled over second of the gap. So I apologise there, Matthew, for not seeing the position you made. So I was paying attention to this battle. We get a nice nose cam move as Mark couldn't get past Nino this time. Now, does Mark know Nino's got a 3-second time penalty? Has Mark not got a penalty? We'll have to wait and see. With only 2 laps remaining. Oh, there was contact. Nino! Oh, I thought Nino was round. Lewis Marshall has retired from the session. So, Cameron, your 9th place, your 8th place is saved. And Lewis Marshall, I believe, did do the 90%. I believe you got 9. Because Collingwood is an AI. As Nino has lost position from Mark. Mark is now currently P3. This is the closest battle on track. Aaron Collingwood AI is pitted again. Don't know why. Don't know if he's got. I believe he's got damage, so I'd probably Lewis ran into him. It's only a few laps remaining. As Nino needs to be focused and Nino needs to be patient. Because Mark is a very talented driver, so is Nino from where he used to be in F2 to get into the big league F1. To be with these guys racing against Matthew Alder and a few other drivers. But here comes Nino coming around the outside of Store Corner. Is he going to make the move work? Runs a bit wide, gets just stays within track limits on my screen there. as he goes for the lunge into turn 1. Oh, bit of contact and Mark's round almost. Nino went for a very aggressive lunge there, and him in a bit of contact with Mark. Now Mark will not be happy with that. He will be furious. Will Nino give the position back? Don't know. Nino doesn't have to, in my opinion. He could say he wasn't as right, and he was technically. He was on the inside, but I don't know if he was ahead on the inside of the corner, so I could be wrong. As this battle is heating up. As currently the gap between the leader from Emir and Matthew is over 1.5 seconds. So it's actually now been cut to 1.3 to 1.4, so the gap's still getting feisty. As there's only this lap and the final lap after this is Nino going to hold P3? Will Mark get a 3-second time penalty, or has he already got one? We'll have to wait and see till the final wheel comes across the finish line out of this battle. As Mark may have got a tiny bit of wing damage there from Nino though from that lunge. This is actually one of the closest battles. However, we'll go back on board with Tom and Felix near the end of the race, since their battle is over 5 times. As I just got messaged. Look, as Nino Romanello is defending yet again. It's now Brandon is actually caught up a tiny bit, over a second, 7.2 seconds right now. It's too late to start catching up. It's now on the final lap. Matthew Alder, the leader, over a gap of 1.5 seconds. So one of my predictions is right. Matthew Alder winning this race, it looks like. As Nino Romanello gets to hold P3 yet again. Will he hold it on the last lap? Because now Mark will have stepped it up a gear. Let's see what ERS mode he is in. He is in ERS mode 5. Nino, ERS mode 1 as Mark is not waiting around. Wants to go already into turn 3. On the inside, doesn't work. Nino defends his line into turn 4. Coming through the arena section, now coming into Brooklyn's corner as Mark is on the outside. Look at the straight line speed compared over Nino with that extra ERS. Nino goes for a bit of a dive. Mark's still there. He has to know that Mark is still there. Nino has to give him room as there's still contact coming out of the field. Oh, almost more contact between these two drivers. However, I will have to go on board with Matthew eventually. However, these two are going side by side. Will they go side by side through the Rouge? We'll have to wait and see. Round the outside, Nino goes. Nino defends the outside line, gets through quite cleanly. Obviously, Mackett and Beckett's. This is Mark's last chance to get him through a hangout straight. Nice and tidy exit through Mackett and Beckett's out to Chapel corner. Who's going to get the best exit out of Chapel? It looks like Nino. Will Nino hold the lead? However, I'm going to have to go on board with Matthew Alder. Matthew Alder is going to win the round 1 of the IRL F1 season 6. Great drive there from Matthew. Amir takes P2. Nino Romanello looks like he's holding P3, but Aaron Collingwood's AI could have a major effect on that. Will Nino hold P3 or will it be Mark? Nino loses it. Nino is round. And a bottle there from Nino. Mark takes P3. Nino cuts the corner in disbelief, loses position to Brandon in P4. Nino takes P5, and Tom and Felix look at this battle to the final lap. Tom is on the outside, and Nino, oh, Felix has to back out. It's game over there from Felix, as Tom is going to take P6. Felix takes P7, and since Aaron Collins in AI, I believe can take P8, and Lewis Marshall P9. There you have it. It's been round 1 of the first IRL proper race of season 6 instead of the summer season, and Matthew Alder, another Renault driver, wins the first round of season as he's got the number 19 to support Anthony Hubert, as Amir takes P2 in the McLaren and P3 for Mark. So he did have a bit of damage wing on the inside, so I think that's a bit of karma there for Nino with that spin, I believe what Mark's trying to say. As we will do podium interviews, which I am looking forward to, with Matthew Alder, Amir and Mark, as hopefully they can join me as soon as possible. Before I do that, I will go down the top 10. Matthew wins the race with a lap of a 128.9. Amir takes P2 with bit of penalties actually. Mark in P3, Brandon Glover in P4 after Nino lost control of the car on the final corner and lost 2 positions in P5. P6 is Tom, P7 is Felix, and I believe Cameron will take P8 after he did the 90% rule. Lewis Marshall will take P9, and Collingwood will not get any point because he was an AI, he didn't finish 90% rule, and all the others were retired from the race. As I will now invite the drivers for interviews. The top 3. I'm only doing the top 3 this season, since the videos were too long last season. So I'll just invite Blizzard now. Yep, Azmi will be invited, and also Mark. As it loads. So there we go, the invites have been sent out. So hopefully they can join me very shortly for the interview. It's been a very great race there, guys. Any incidents to report, send them to the admins of me, Sondre, Jay, Tyler Rhodes, Cameron, and Brandon as well. If there's any incidents, need reporting at that, if that is. As also, as I said, there may be some incidents getting investigated between Aaron and Lewis, but we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see, as I am waiting for the guys to join me in the interview. So hopefully they are doing it. We invite them again. As Mark has now made it into the session. So is Matthew. Is Amir joining, if you guys know? He does have a mic. I'll invite him again. Just to make sure, is your mic on share? Alright, good man. Same with you, Matthew? Is your mic on share? I can't believe he's here. Right. Matthew, you here, Matt?
Ooh, pardon. Where is Matthew into?
I don't know. If he... Oh, you are here. Right, that's good. Right. Let's just make sure. Well then, your first return back, your first race win already. How does it feel, Matthew, to win your home race and to come back on a high after a season break?
Feels good. I managed to beat Ami, and he's really good around here. So yeah, I was quite happy with that, and also beat Jay, even if I don't know what happened to him, but I still beat him anyway, and was beating him before, so quite happy with that.
Very good to hear. Did you know what happened to your teammate with the crash he had, or anything like that? Because it cost you a bit of team points there, or not?
No, I do not.
Right. Did you have any tyre problems trying to pass Samir near the end, or was it just you being patient and then going and battling him at the end and overtaking?
Really, the intention was to just gather ERS, because ERS is really hard to conserve around here. So I just wanted to have enough ERS so I could push to the end like I did, see if I could break a 1 second window. And I managed to do that. It was still really hard. It took me over a lap. I basically had no ERS left for the last 3 laps. And no, I did not have any tyre issues. It's Britain, it's very hard to have some.
Well, we saw Lewis Marsh on it as I'm wet, so just making sure. Well then, last question I'm going to ask you is, round 2 is Austria, I believe. How do you think you're going to do that?
I liked on 2018.
Right.
But I don't really know how I am on this game, so we'll have to see, won't we? But I don't think I'll be able to fight Amir or Jay for that race win. I think I'll just have to settle for 3rd.
So 3rd place. Okay, so another podium then. Rightio. Well then, Matthew, thanks for joining me for the interview, and great race, and well done on your first win.
Thank you.
Well, Mark, P3. You must be satisfied with that, even with the collision with Nino.
Yeah, it was a fun battle with Nino.
Yeah, could you tell me how the race was? How did you get some decent positions in that through the race?
Trying to think. I know for the one with Aaron, I think he hit the back of me whenever he rejoined track and
Yeah.
spun. So I got past him through that one. After that, I think all I had to do was just past Nino, but I mean, in the first stint, that was a bit hard with the like having no DRS the whole first stint, so kind of made it harder. But second stint, whenever he passed me, I just thought I'll sit behind because I know he has penalties until the last few laps.
Yeah, he did pick up a few penalties exceeding track limits after he made an overtake on you on the outside, which I thought at first was a bit harsh, but he actually was off the track a tiny bit, so, and it won't be removed anyway since it's only a 3-second time penalty. But no, that was a very great battle. It was one of the main battles I was watching after me and Matthew basically stayed at the same gap. Were you getting a bit hot and bothered when he went for that aggressive dive when he gave you a bit of wing damage, or did you stay calm and thought I can get him back later on?
I was a bit annoyed because I was going to, because I heard the mirror had a penalty, so I was going to try and just push the car to the limits. But then when I got damaged and nothing was going to come back from there. So I just stayed with him the best I could.
Well, I bet it put a smile when Nino bottled it on the final corner. But no, that's a bit unfortunate there for Nino. But I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Matthew. Austria's next week. What do you think you're going to do there now? What position do you think you're going to
Top 5 maybe, because Austria, it's hard to know at Austria. It's a very close track overall.
Top 5 then? Well, I'll have to wait and see what you do next week then, mate. And that's going to be it from me. Cheers for coming in for the interview, as I'm going to now go on board with Mia, I believe. Just before I ask you any questions, mate, is your mic on always allowed?
Yeah, it is on.
Good man. Right, well done on your P2 today. You have a very interesting battle with you and Jay and Matthew. What's your takes on the race today?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping I could battle for the win, but I knew it was out of the question after I got the penalty when I came in for the pit stop. I mean, I was about to pit the lap before. I was about to pit in lap 8, but I forgot to press the MFD to pit this lap, so the line wasn't there. So yeah, I just got the penalty, and I knew that I had no chance of winning because Matthew just had too much pace. I mean, I wanted to win on track. I knew he was going to win in the end, but you know, it was fun battling with him.
Yeah, as I could see, you actually got past him a few times there and showed your pace against Matthew, and it was very close, very decent racing between you two, no banging wheels or anything like the other battles I've seen. So it was a very good race. It was unfortunate that you got that 5-second time penalty, but yeah, it was a very good race. What was your thinking of Jay when he retired? Did you know why he retired? Did you have any contact or anything like that, or?
I had no idea, to be honest. I mean, when I came out of the pits, I just saw myself like ahead of Matthew, but I was like asking myself, "Where's Jay? Where's Jay?" Until like I saw like a Red Bull retired. So, you know, I mean, I had no idea how he got. I'm not sure if he got damaged or anything. I mean, I just don't know what happened to him.
Well, then I'm going to ask you the same question as I've asked Mark and Matthew. For Austria next week, where do you think you're going to be, like position-wise, and how confident are you at that track?
Well, Austria is like more of a pad track, so I would probably say podium. Podium is possible. Yeah.
Looking for another podium. So we've got two drivers looking for another podium and Mark for P5. Well, thank you guys for joining me in commentary for the interviews. Great racing from all three of yous. And now I'm going to wrap the stream up from here. So this has been International Racing League Season 6 Round 1 for the F1 League for Britain. As your race winner is Matthew, and I believe the fastest lap was taken from Cameron Young. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you all tomorrow for F2 and F3 at 4:30. Goodbye for now.